Adam Shapiro is an analyst who was director of Israel-Palestine Advocacy at Dawn, a human rights and foreign policy think tank. He joins us now from Washington, D.C. Adam, U.S. President Joe Biden said that the U.S. was looking into reports and trying to determine what happened in Gaza. How concerned is the White House about all this? And will this attack on Palestinians who were waiting for aid put pressure on the Biden administration to do more to push Israel into entering a ceasefire?
Well, to the first part of your question, I'm sure there is concern in the White House about what the reports are coming out and what has clearly been, a tragic incident that was entirely avoidable. There's absolutely no reason that Israeli soldiers should be opening fire on crowds of Palestinians seeking to get food and other humanitarian aid. That said, in terms of the second part of your question about a ceasefire, I honestly don't think that this administration has any interest in moving things forward towards achieving a lasting, permanent ceasefire, and certainly one that would make a meaningful difference in the lives of Palestinians in Gaza. I think the Biden administration is very much on a timetable of what the American elections are driving, which is unfortunately November. And it's only at that point, after the outcome of the elections are determined, that we might see decisive movement by the Biden administration. I say that with just the one caveat, basically, that, something really, and this sounds trivial to say it at this point, given how many people have been killed in Gaza, but something catastrophically bad happening in Gaza might shift things in a way, but 112 dead in one incident in Gaza, as people in Gaza know, that's a day in Gaza. That's a normal day in Gaza at this point. And unfortunately, that's not shifting things for the Biden administration.
Adam, there's a huge amount of concern about the levels of hunger in Gaza. UN officials have warned that at least 1/4 of the population there is one step away from famine without urgent action. Will mounting international outrage over this incident compel Israel into allowing more aid into Gaza?
I don't think so, and I think we have to now understand the true nature of what's going on. What we are hearing is that there's more talk, perhaps even from the United States, of using these aerial airdrops of aid, which pose challenges and problems in and of themselves and are completely insufficient for the need. On the ground, what we're hearing from aid organizations themselves is that they also, after this incident, are very concerned and have been very concerned about the security of their trucks and their truck drivers going in. The situation is chaotic, as the images definitely showed, and is totally understandable given the starvation that people are facing and the complete lack of assistance that they're receiving. What is needed is unequivocally a permanent, clear, lasting ceasefire with Israeli troops leaving entirely Gaza so that Palestinians and some form of Palestinian authority can return to maintain order in the area, and a proper aid operation and beginning of a reconstruction operation can begin.
And Adam, if I could just go back to something you mentioned a moment ago, which is that there are these reports that the U.S. is weighing airdropping aid into Gaza. Other countries are also airdropping aid into Gaza. Jordan did so in the past couple of days. How effective is this as a means to get humanitarian aid to a population that is suffering through this humanitarian catastrophe?
No, this is not even a Band-Aid on the problem at this point. The planes can't carry that much material. It would be far more effective to allow trucks in at numbers that are necessary, not the kind of trickle that's being allowed in at this point. And people are afraid, certainly, when they're going out to try to collect that aid, even in the zones that have been declared safe. As we saw from this incident, there's no such thing as safe in Gaza as long as Israeli troops are there, and as long as Israel continues to bombard from the outside of Gaza. What is absolutely needed, this has always been a political issue, and it needs to have a political solution with a ceasefire implemented and ensured and guaranteed, basically, by the United States.
All right. Adam Shapiro, great to get your perspective. Thanks so much for joining us here on Al Jazeera.
Thank you.